Thank you. I'm Mr. Lehner, and welcome back to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. In today's webisode, we're going to build on what we talked about last time, and now we're going to primarily focus on finding volume of our rectangular prisms and our boxes. And again, we have a couple of examples that we're going to use here with our boxes, and now we're also going to introduce some handy-dandy little unit cubes to help us figure out what we can fit inside each one of these boxes. I have a nice little handheld for us learners that like to touch and manipulate things. And I also have the technology feature back to show you on the computer what it looks like as well. So let's think about it. Volume. I talked to you last time about what the formula for volume was. Hopefully you remember that it's, nice job, length times width times the height. So again, if I'm looking at this box right here, I might notice that it's 6 tall, it's 1 across, and its width is 1. So length was 1, the width was 1, and the height was 6. So 1 times 1 times 6 is going to be 6. Or if you think about it, another way to find the volume is how many unit cubes can I fit inside here. So if I were to actually drop each one in, if I can do it correctly, I'd be able to fit 6 of those unit cubes in each part of my box here. That tells me the volume would be 6 for this figure, because that's how much I can fit on the inside. It's how much space on the inside that will be taken up. Again, this kind of reminds me of like a Rolos or like a Tootsie Roll container where I can just kind of, if I want a piece, just pop one out and there you go. So the volume of this shape right here would be 6, okay, cubed units, or units cubed. Alright, let's take a look at that technology. You know, it's one of my favorite things. Let's take a look at this box out here and figure out, ooh, how can we get this box? And this one is a rectangle. And it has a width of 4, a length of 5, and a height of 3. Now some of you might be saying, ooh, I know the formula. And plug it in and say that, well, 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 times 3 is 60, so the volume must be 60 cubed units. Well, let's see. Let's see if I can prove that using our technology component. Alright, when looking at this box, we talked about nets last time in our unit. The nice feature about this online tool is that, whoa, there's the top of my box I just opened. Oh, I closed it on accident. Let's see. There's the side that goes down. There's a side, there's a face I should say. There's another face that goes down. That looks familiar, huh? That looks just like the nets that we had talked about in 4.1. Again, if I were building a box for a company and I was trying to make this box on here, I'd draw out my dimensions, and then as you actually build the box, you make the sides to it. You probably put some tape in there, put the sides to it, and then put our top, and look, now I have a box. If I was trying to ship some goods or put some presents in there, I know how much I can fit inside this box. So let's open this box back up so that you guys can see. Okay, here's the inside of the box. Now, we talked about it having a width of 4, a length of 5, and a height of 3. Now, the nice thing I can do is, here's my unit cube. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your width. The width is 4 across. Now the length. Well, let's keep filling these up. And there. The length, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 here, and it's 4 here. It's similar to our area of a rectangle. But now we're adding in the height. Well, how tall is it? 1, 2, 3. So if I were counting these out, I know that this is, let me go this way. This is 5, 10, 15, 20. There's 20 on that floor. Now I need to add in another floor. So there's another 5, 10, 15, 20. So that gives me 40. That's the second part. I still have this top part. So another, add these in. Another 5, 10, 15, 20. So there's my volume of 60. I could have used the formula 4 times 5 times 3 to get 60 cube units. Or I could simply fill my figure with the cube units. And then if I were to close up my box, I can now ship my, let's say, box of chocolates. I can then ship the box of chocolates in there if that's what you prefer. And then I can take it away. And that's how much would actually fit inside this box. So again, you can use cubes or you can use the formula. Alright, I know you wouldn't let you get off the hook. Well, let's close it back up without giving you a problem. So, I want you guys, let's say you guys a width of 5, a length of 3, and a height of 5. So, you now have this figure that's up here on the board. Again, I've showed you the formula. I also showed you the unit cube way to do this. So, you have a width of 5, you have a length of 3, and you have a height of 5. I'd like you to find the volume of this figure. If you need to draw it out, or if you need to kind of use your formulas in there, that's fine. But I'd like you to find the volume of this figure up here. Go ahead and pause that video, and you know we're going to find out what you came up with. Okay, I'm going to take a look at this figure again, similar to the way I did last time. If I want to see what this net would look like, boom, I just unfolded it. I see all how this net looks here on the inside. Okay, now I'm going to build this box up. I'm going to close it back up, but I also want to see inside. I want to see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to start to fill. You may use your formula, and you may decide that, well, 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 3 is 75 units cubed, or cubed units. Let's just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just found our length here. It's 3 units long, and the width was 5 units. So the width was 5, the length here was 3. So I know that in this row down here, there's 5, 10, 15. Well, if there's 15 here, in the next row, which is going to go above it, there's going to be another 15. So 15 and 15 is 30. And then I'm going to add in another 15, which is 45. So you guys can see up there. And then I'm going to add in another 15, which is going to be 60. And then lastly, I'm going to add in another 15 up here, which is going to give me 75 units cubed. And again, if I was trying to fill this box up, I could then simply close my box up there on top. And now we can figure out that the volume of this figure was 75 cubed units. Again, I can use the formula in there, or I can simply figure out how many unit cube blocks can I actually fit inside that box. And again, this is going to help people that work in the companies. Think of like something you might have every single morning, maybe a box of cereal. They have to figure out what dimensions to make the cereal box. When we're like granola bars and stuff like that, they need to figure out the dimensions. How much can we fit, or how much volume does each box have? And that's actually people's jobs that they work on to make sure that these are made to the right dimensions. And again, they might not have the little cubes drawn on there, but they use the same formulas. They might have to do some messy math with fractions, which I know all of you guys like, but they may have to measure the side of a box and say, you know what, it's 8 3/8 inches. Or they might have to measure the width and say, you know what, it's 3 2/4, maybe 3 2/5 inches on the side. So there is some messy math involved like we've talked about, but if you use your formula, you're still going to be able to find the volume of the figures. Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Lainer's Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.